Residents in the devastated Hawaiian Islands have mentioned realtors scavenging the island and hounding residents to sell their property, which was devastated by the fire, for pennies in order to secure the highly desirable property. This is a very disgusting turn of events that instead of bringing help to the residents, they want to take advantage of their grief as residents have lost their homes and loved ones to the fire. President Biden had to be shamey to mentioning the fire and saying he would go to the island eventually while he was on vacation. Trump and Obama mentioned the tragedy before Biden even hinted interest at the unfolding situation. Residents expressed their desperations as the government responses had not been sufficient. They even begged for news outlets to help get their messages out as they were suffering and dying. The news outlets seem to only want to exploit the tragedy for views, as they often do. Their nation seems inadequate to respond to disasters or unwilling to do so, unless to benefit their campaign or attack their political opponents. It hurts me to say this, but I must admit that our government is divided and focused on a cultural conflict that most Americans, the silent majority, simply does not care about, and only want the government to focus on this sick nation that needs healing from a government that is so cynical, as we have seen politicians no longer even pretend to care about these nation's citizens. We have seen politicians who are no longer medically capable of doing their duties as public servants, and a media that helps hide their diagnosis as they have a personal relationship with the politicians they're supposed to keep in check, leaving the public who have to rely on leaks and rumors to make their decisions on voting for an elite which has no sympathy for the very same citizens they rely on to keep their mummified corpses in power. We know of their corruption and of their interpersonal relationships with one another and how they pretend to be opponents so that they can cultivate a cult following who they can exploit, asking them to donate to their campaigns and using the money for whatever it is that they please. We're no longer a republic, but an oligarchy.